Alright, no. This is the side this is the side I'm getting the test off of. Why is there a Jewish test? No, I'm not taking.
What?
There's a Jewish test! You can test if you're Jewish. There's also a Zim test, which is like an Israel test. There's also a love test. There's also an anger test.
Why is there an anger test?
You should be asking why there's an anxiety, stress, depression test, and why there's a psychopathic test, and why there's an attachment test, and a doctorate test. Why is there a racism? You know what? I'm taking the racism test.
What?
This says race. Use a research race inventory for measuring racism. Okay. I'm taking the racism test. I'm taking the racism test. I can't believe they have a racism test. You know what? Is it okay to assume that mostly have friends? Is it okay to assume that people mostly have friends with people who share their ethnicity? Yeah, like, you know what? I mean, it's typical, but it may sometimes be necessary for the Western government to detain or investigate non-white of actions that would arouse suspicion done by white people. I totally agree with that. Is it okay to portray non-white characters in TV shows as speaking porn or heavily, like if it's autistic comedy? But if you're doing it as pure racism, it's like, okay, I can't believe. No, what did you send me? Consider it thinking. I'm still kind of baffled that there's a racism test.
Why are my results more high? What
is it often to ask non-whites where they are really from? I mean, it depends. If you want to get like if you like, oh, I'm really interested in that person's background and what they've been through, then yeah. But if you're asking that to be racist, then no. It's like it depends. I think what the fuck? Alright, what's this word? Subversive means in a way that shows willingness to. Oh no! That is not okay! Not in the Big 25! Racism in Western countries is mostly a thing of the past. I wish it was. I'll totally. I wish it was, but you know, I kind of agree with that. It should be in the past. White people have a duty to educate themselves in the races. Yes. It is legitimate for Western countries to impose strict immigration restrictions from non-whites than they do for no. I don't really think minorities in the West were historically the target of racist actions. No, they were. I feel like they were. Is it offensive to suggest that all people are the same and look alike? I mean, not really. Like, some Asians can look different, and some can look the same. It depends. No. Is it okay to ask a non-white if they know a friend, a coworker, or classmate of yours who is the same race as they are? Fence sitter. Is it offensive to tell non-whites that they speak English too well? Yes, it is offensive. Well, actually, let's go back to this question. Well, it can be, depending on the person. Like, it just depends. Is it often is it offensive to Is it offensive in the beginning? Is it offensive to suggest that non-whites, what they look like, celebrities,
why is
their
there a
ethnicity?
hypersexuality event compilation?
Why is there? I mean, all right. Western history books should take care of stressing contributions. Western history books should take care to stress the contributions. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah. Is it okay to assume that the kitchens in restaurants are owned by whites that are genuinely enjoying them? Oh, damn, that's a... Is it okay to assume that restaurants owned by non-whites are genuinely... No! Like, some of those beings can be clean, you never know. Is it okay to assume that non-whites... No.
What is this?
Is it okay to portray minorities in commercials being bad as English? I don't feel like it. Like, some are good. Is it okay to make jokes about the food served at restaurants? And by no... No, I don't feel like it. Is it okay to portray no whites in Western movies according to the no, not really. Like it depends. It's like a form of comedy that that is harmless. But no, not really.
Me,
It's offensive to ask non-whites if they can teach you. No. Alright, let's see. Am I racist? Okay, I'm. Let's see. Let's add these numbers in a calculator. So, okay, so general racism, I am 29% general racism, 33% social historical racism, reputable foreign racism, 50% total racism. Okay, so the total racism, I'm totally 37% racist. Why am I 37% racist? And am I just gonna go around and brag to people that I'm 33%, 37% racist? No! Alright, let's go with the other test, because... Political test, autism test... I can't believe that's a test. Psychopath, gender test. Villain test. Communist test! Why is there a communist test? Oh, and then right next to it, there's a right next to the depression test? Oh, no, right next to the Potter test, there's the bipolar test, and then there's the homophobia. You know what? How homophobic am I? Let me take the as a lesbian. I want to see how homophobic I am. Being around gay people makes me uncomfortable. No. I have a competitive
population. Anyways.
Can't believe there's a homophobia test. I have a contemplated valid and vandalizing the property. No. Be you. When I meet new potential friends and I find out about their sexual orientation, so I could come back out there. Nah. I keep my distance from people whom I know are gay. No, I hang around the gays. I would be offended if a gay person made a pass at me, and if a straight person did. No, not really. It depends on the... I keep some extra distance in relations to where I suspect other parties is gay. No, I want to go to them more, especially if there are women there. I dislike the thought of homosexuals working jobs. No. Role models as children? No. Homosexual intercourse should be against the law. No! If I discovered a friend was gay, I would consider it no. The thought of homosexuality? Nah. Marriage between a man and a woman? I do not support same-sex marriage. I disagree. I'm not planning to get married. That's too much paperwork, but I have to criticize people to their face for being gay. No. It does not matter to me whether my friends is... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Homosexuality, no. Unless you're like religious. I would feel comfortable having a gay roommate. Yes, I would. I have more suspicions of gay people. No. If I mocked a manly woman or a girly man, I have more. No, I'm not the type to say sluts. Gay people are probably responsible. Some that no. Actually, depends on the person.
Hello, look what I think.
It doesn't bother me to see homosexuals. It does not bother me. I wish I could be them. Organizations that promote gay that lead organizations that promote gay rights lead people astray. No, I don't feel like that. I enjoy I do enjoy the company of gay people. Alright, how homophobic am I? I am 8% homophobic. Somehow. Why? What do you mean? This like, sir? Whoa! Population average is high for homophobia.
Well,
I am officially 8% homophobic. Guys, do not take this. I am not homophobic. Do not take this test seriously. What other tests are there on this site? There better be an ableist. There's bipolar. There's a sexual test. There's a depression
did you
test.
see what I said?
I swear to God, there was just. Oh yes, right now there's a South Park test and another Potter test. There's a feminism test. There's a there's a food test. There's an ADHD test. There's an identity test. All right. Do I want to take the identity test, or do I want to take the ADHD test, or do I want to take the asexuality test? I want to take, I want to take the ADHD. Okay, no, don't trust what this is. I have difficulty attending. I have wait, am I a difficult? I have difficult. Yeah, well, in the beginning, I have difficulty attending to details, and will more often make careless mistakes. Sometimes. I put up tasks. Yeah, like assignments, unless I have to do them. Yes. I interrupt or intrude on others when they are busy. Well, most of the time I don't know they're busy. I frequently leave my seat in a meeting. What is this? No! I'm in high school! I have problems remembering appointments and obligations. No, I barely get invited to any. I find it hard to concentrate on what others are saying, even when they speak to me directly. No, not really. No, I understand what they're saying. I just forget. I am constantly moving around in my chair, and I find it not constantly moving around, but I do find it hard to sit still. Average teen. I am always on the go. I feel compelled to consistently be in action. I like going places with people, but I'm not on the go. No. I am easily distracted by noise or activity around me. Depends on the noise, but most of the time, yes. Boring, repetitive tasks cannot keep my attention. Yes, like science. Once I started something, I see it for compilation. What is this word? Is it competition? I can't know. It's an action of compelling
Completion.
completion. Okay. No, not really. I find myself blurting out answers or finishing other people's sentences. No, I rarely lose misplaced things. I put something down, unless it's not in that same spot I always put it, it's bye-bye. I often feel relentless or fidgety. Restless.
I can't
Sometimes.
talking about how serious
I do not talk a lot in social
like how
situations.
serious the drawings are,
Depends
and
on
then
the
I just
person.
said this.
Most of the time, no. I find it easy to quietly relax and unwind. On my phone? Yeah. Wait, I actually pressed disagree. Whoopsies. I can usually get my things in order when a task. I can easily get my things in order.
The name
Depends.
is Complicated Fan.
I have difficulty waiting for my turn. Yes. Hate long lines. Alright, let's see. Oh my god, I have, my ADHD risk is high. That's great to know.
Sorry,
I took an ADHD. Oh, by the way, do not believe anything this test says, but I took an ADHD test. Shit, wrong thing. Your personal ADHD risk level is high, indicating you demonstrate most signs and symptoms of ADHD in adult. I am not a fucking adult. Regarding blah blah blah, yap yap yap. I know I have okay. Let's see. There's many tests on this site. Let's see. I'll take the identity test later. Partner test. Okay. Eating test, sexism test. I want to take that test.
No.
I want to take the sexism test.
When I got the bully.
You know what? Do you want to take the sexism test? Okay, a woman cannot be happy without a man.
Okay, one.
I can't be happy without a woman.
They are like problematic. They do
Women
bad
seek
art.
special favors on
According to a video.
the fucking
What
face.
is this? I'm sorry. I find this so incredibly goofy.
Oh, I didn't. This looks like the average kit if they made a cool kid
Yeah.
design.
No, yeah,
Guys.
this is the Forsaken cool
An
kid
external
too.
form or appearance of manner. Okay.
Oh, they already quit the fandom. What the hell? Alright, I report.
No.
Shelly
Woman full to
Exuendo.
appreciation, all the things.
Moving
No.
to the Forsaken fandom.
Women are too eager to interpret innocent
Whatever.
remarks.
If you see this, I'm very sorry for sexual libel.
I'm fence sitting on this one.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
Women seek
Okay.
control over men.
But I
Long-term hetero.
didn't know it.
I totally agree with that. If a country has compulsory military, if a country's yes, it should apply to men and women equally. Women have just as much sense of honor as and duty as a man. Yes, gender equality and equal rights are entirely reasonable. I love how you can find the sexism test online. Women have nurturing capabilities that men could never achieve. No, I feel like a man could achieve nurturing capabilities. Depends who they are. Women exaggerate problems they face in society. No, I don't feel so. Well, I'm taking. Alright, we're halfway, by the way. I'm taking this test as a woman, so I'm doing most of this based off myself, kind of. When a woman loses fairly, they claim and it's due. No, I don't. No. A woman should be cherished and protected. No, I should be protected more by a woman. Women are genuinely better people. Yeah! I do agree with that. If a man and a woman go out on a date, the man should not necessarily. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it should be equal split. Women have special sensitivity that men can never achieve. Middle. Men should sacrifice to ensure the well-being of women. Middle. Women have more of a refined sense of.
Anyway, new outfit. Don't like
Middle.
your new outfit, bro.
In an emergency, a woman should not necessarily be rescued for a man. Lies. Women are too easily offended. No, I don't feel like I'm too easily offended. Women are just rational as logical. Yeah, I do agree.
Bro,
Woman-
you've done the same thing. Okay, I'm not talking about you, by the way. This person has said the same excuse 4 times in one post. We don't care. It's still wrong.
A good woman
It's still
should
wrong
be
to
put on a
sexualize
pedestal.
10-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, a real 10-year-old, by the way, not even a fictional one, a real
Alright, let's
one.
read this out.
Like, both are super bad.
Girly pop, I'm hypersexual. I like to do things. What the fuck? Girly pop, I'm hypersexual. I like to think, do of something. What people don't think beside I got nothing to do. I'm hypersexual, and I love my life. When I do eat, girls, they're lovely. Anyway, Shelly is my most favorite main yet. Though I do sexualize her. Hey, isn't Quill uncomfortable with sexualizing her characters?
They drew it of a real 10-year-old according to the video I watched too.
Oh. Depending on how old the person,
Wowie
this
wouldn't.
person is, I feel like this could be pedophilia. I'm just hypersexual. And so, I don't know why I sexualize toddlers. Pedophile alert. I'm just doing my own, yeah, I'm doing it fine. And my parents should
Yeah,
find out
no,
about it
like a child,
since I'm
by the way.
hypersexual.
This
I
is
don't
normal.
want them
Like
to
we
know
get it. You
about
say
it.
the
And yeah,
same thing 4 times in one post.
I
It's
do,
still not a good excuse.
I do got something you call it or whatever.
Wenda X Shelly. No one cares about Wenda X Shelly, bro. Also, why is
I
Shelly
am
floating?
33% sexist.
Shelly's floating, by the way.
Apparently, okay, by the way, do not believe this test. I am not as sexist as you think I am. I am 33% sexist, apparently. Guys, I promise these tests are not true. What's another one
Wenda
we can
is
do?
mad. I might do Wendell. Who's Wendell? Is that the OC?
There's another autism test. There's a loneliness test. I'll definitely learn. Here's a kitty test.
Okay,
a
so
gender
like, why do
test.
they have like 2 trillion autism
There's a
tests?
67 test.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a morality test. There's an Islam test. Why is that a test? There's a paranoid test. Okay. There's a lot of tests, okay? There's a color test. There's a trauma test.
Hello.
I don't have trauma. There's a Twilight test.
Oh my god. Lesbian life.
No, I'm definitely not taking the Twilight.
I can't tell if they spelled it wrong on purpose or they're genuinely this stupid.
There's a transgender test. I'm not gonna take
Bella,
that.
listen to me. Why does this stupid website have like 2 million autism tests?
There's so many autism tests. I
There's
might.
so many.
Okay, there's a God's test.
Like what?
There's an eating. There's an eating test. The
But, like, why
eating
does
disorders.
it-
There's an eating disorder test.
Why?
They have a manipulation test. They have a schizoid test. They have a bipolar.
Wow.
There's so many bipolar tests. I saw like 2 bipolar tests as well. There's a transphobia test. You know what? I'm taking the transphobia test.
Transphobia test.
People who are mentally ill probably claim to be transgender. I totally disagree with that. For me, some will notice this sort of man not a real person. I totally disagree with that. You're a real person. A natural place for transgender people is among society, outcasts and perverts.
So the last time
Nah.
I asked someone
A
out on
transgender person who
dating
refuses
when
to
he
present
was
themselves as
ginger and other
cisgender should
person
not
was
complain
fat, I
when they
asked
find
her to be
that
my
the others
Ethan
will
and they
I
said no.
totally disagree
I
with that.
rejected. Girl.
Transgender people probably think
Emo Toodles is here. That's not emo.
it depends how bullied you are. It's offensive. I suppose that one of the biggest concerns of any transgender person is passing for cisgender when they. Wait, I suppose one of the biggest concerns of any transgender person is passing for cisgender when out in public. It depends on the
Girls
person.
will be ugly.
Fence
I
it all.
said go.
I would like to experience the deep connections of
Yeah,
this trans.
me
I don't
too,
mind
no.
it.
Right, she's
I
literally
believe that
just a
transgender
kid.
people cannot be happy unless they perceive as cisgender women or men when they're out in public. Fence it all. Transgender people feel like they're entitled to lecture on other gender politicals because of their identity. No, I don't feel like that. Transgender people are probably embarrassed about their identity. No, I don't feel like. No, I don't feel like that. When interacting with transgender people, I often feel like there's no way I could have the same type of interactions with them as I can with cisgender. No, I totally disagree with that. No,
My family kicked
I
me
feel like
out of
transgender people
school
cannot relate to
for a
my
minute.
experience the way the cisgender. Depends on the
Oh.
person. Depends on the person. Boring people probably claim to be transgender as a way to seem interesting and unique. I feel like that could be for other reasons. Does not matter to me. It does not matter. In my opinion, it is better for someone who's transgender to present themselves as cisgender, rather as non-binary or the like. No.
What is skibidi?
Depends. Fence sitter.
What is this? What is this?
I think it is probably better if transgender people keep to themselves and avoid socializing too much with the rest of society. No, I totally disagree with that. Get out there, socialize with people. If a transgender person made a pass at me, I would regard it as just a
Oh
whatever,
my god, bro, you are not
Totally.
innocent.
transgender
Look at the
people.
image I sent you.
I did
This
see
is
that.
they made that image after they posted this, but still.
Imagine being banned, lol, L, bozo.
This implies that they got banned on multiple accounts. Look at the thing before. See, I see why you got banned.
You can see why you're banned, little bro. Transgender people probably feel like being transgender makes them special and unique. No, I don't feel like that. Transgender people probably present their identity. Fence sitter, depends how much they've been bullied. Transgender people probably envy people with cisgender, or feel so. Transgender people try to make every conversation about themselves. No. Transgender
Melanie. I know they're not Melanie, they're worse.
Organizations that promote awareness of transgender rights perform a valuable service in public. I totally agree. Transgender people are neither better nor worse than the rest of us. I totally agree with that. I feel estranged from people who are transgender.
What test are you taking, bro?
I'm taking the transphobia test.
Okay.
I feel strange.
Wait, do you know what? I dare you to take, like, not every single one, but a lot of the autism tests they have on there. How many is
No! That would take me hours to complete.
3, by the way. Okay, whatever, you don't have to do that.
No, I am not taking every fucking autism test. I have fucking 10 billion autism tests.
Why are they so...
Fence sitter. I believe that
What is this song? Like, yeah, it's cool, but the lyrics...
When a transgender person are discriminated against, it is a sort of their own fault. No.
What is this song?
Transgender people should never be looked down upon. I totally agree. Alright, am I transphobic? Let's see.
It's just 40s until you look at the lyrics. What do you mean?
I'm 14% transphobic.
It's just cute stuff until you look at the lyrics.
Anyway, I'm 14% transphobic apparently. You know what, no, I want to see how many, no, I just need to see how many autism tests there are.
Oh yes, you're 14% transphobic.
I'm not actually, okay? This is based off a stupid quiz. How many autism tests do they actually have? I don't think I spelled it right. Autism. Holy crap! There are so many autism tests! I am not taking all these! I am not taking every single fucking autism test. There's so many! Okay.
You do have to take